Hey everybody, today we're going to be doing a video on how to ride a motorcycle. There's lots of awesome YouTube videos on how to ride a motorcycle, but I've never seen one that covers everything you need to know in one video. So with the invention of longer battery time and bigger battery packs, I'm going to be able to do a complete motorcycle riding instructional video for you here, and we're going to cover everything: braking, shifting, counter steering, how to ride on the freeways, how to ride in the twisties, how to ride on the roads, and how to become a beginner rider. Where do you go to practice? We're going to do this in first-person mode while sitting on the motorcycle. The motorcycle of choice today is the awesome Yamaha R1. This is a leader bike, so if you can ride this bike, you, my friend, can ride anything. So let's get started. We're not going to spend a lot of time on the beginner basics because we're going to be practicing in this parking lot. Then we're going to go out to the streets and then the freeways, the twisties. You're going to like it. Before we start, let's talk about some gear that you could get that has really helped me, and it's enabled me to help other riders that I find stranded on the road. The first thing is this right here. It is called Red Fuel battery pack jump starter. It's a Red Fuel jump starter, and you see it comes with this cable here with these jump start positive and negative cables, and you just plug it in. You could also use this to charge your phone, and you could even jump cars with this. And then watch what happens. You flip it on and see how it shows that the power is at 100%. Then you attach these to your motorcycle battery post, and you see that light right there? I don't know if you can see it right here where my thumb's at. And then there's a button here. You push that button. Let me shut this off so I don't get shocked. But you push that button and that starts, will help jumpstart a motorcycle. There he goes, look. Yeah, buddy, that's a 300. You can tell by the way it sounds. That's one piece of gear. The second gear, of course, is great gloves. You know, get some leather gloves. And also, this is a mesh jacket. You just saw that guy going by. I think he had a mesh jacket on also. Mesh is great because there's these little holes, as you can see. Where's the camera? And the air breathes through it. Let's talk about another thing, and then I'm going to show you something that I think you guys are going to think is epic. But first, basic earplugs. There's another one. That guy's not wearing any gear except the helmet and glove. This is sponge earplugs. They're great. They quiet the noise down enough to where it doesn't damage your hearing, but enough to where you could still hear. So it's great. The last thing I'll show you as far as gear, and then we're going to get on the bike and show you in first person mode, is this right here. I'm going to take this out. This is a solar power bank battery charger. Is this thing epic or what? A very, very expensive one is only 30 bucks. You can get this on eBay, Amazon, wish.com, and these are solar panels here, and so you could actually charge your motorcycle cell phone without having to rewire, you know, your bike or do some stuff with the wiring that you could damage something. These Yamahas, they're very sensitive to messing around with the electrical and all the cables and stuff. So I want to show you something. You can just get any phone cable. It actually comes with one. Better off to use theirs, but it works with any of them. And then you see how the sun shines through the plastic of the tank bag, and then if you look at the phone, let's see if I can notice how it's at 91%, and this puppy is still charging. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to kind of, well, I'll put it like this. It's fine. Just don't want the reflection blinding you guys when we're riding. So let's get started, and let's talk about all the things of the motorcycle that you need to know. Let's say you're sitting on the motorcycle. Traditionally on these Japanese bikes, on the Jap bikes, everything on the left is shifting. Here's the clutch lever here. Here's the gear shift lever here. If I want to shift up, just imagine the gear shifting pattern is like a ladder. You have first, neutral, second. Remember that. You're going to be using most of those gears than any of the other gears. First, neutral, second. So if you're in second, you slight tap down, you'll be in neutral. If you're in first and a slight tap up, you'll be in neutral. But let's say you're in first and then you're taking off from a light, you pull the clutch lever in, you kick all the way up, you'll feel metal, and you release the clutch lever and you're in second, and then you go to third, fourth, fifth, sixth. This bike has 6 gears, so you're always going up and down that ladder. It's not like a car where you can just go from fifth and shift into neutral. So we're going to show you how you do it. As you're approaching a light, you're going to be downshifting as you approach. So let's get on the motorcycle and let's get going. So you want to go to a parking lot like this. Preferably, this is a great one. See how there's hardly anyone here. This is when you're new. Remember, we're going to take you to new, putting the backpack on, to, beginner to intermediate to advanced. So you always want to approach from the left side. Remember, to shift, here's what you're going to do. Step 1, release the throttle. Step 2, pull the clutch in. Keep the clutch lever pulled in. And step 3, kick up to the gear you want to go into, or if you're shifting downward, kick down. Then you release the clutch lever. We're going to be showing you that in a moment. Now let's talk about the right side of the bike. We'll get on it. Right side of the bike, when you're sitting on it, has to do with braking. Front brake, rear brake. You put your foot here. Notice your toe will push right here for the rear brake. Here's the throttle, kill switch. Let's get on. Here's the starter right here where my thumb's at. Let's start the bike, give it a few revs. Notice we just turned the key. That doesn't start it. That just gets the power to it. Hold the button down. We've already started. Excuse me. In the middle is that giant dial is the tach. Listen. So on the left, the square area is the speedometer. You have the key here that you turn in. This right here is awesome. If you hit a big bump or a big hole on the freeway going at high speeds and you start getting the steering wheel wobble, this is a steering damper stabilizer. It will save your life. It'll counteract against that, steering wheel wobble, or we should call it handlebar wobble, and it'll stop you from crashing. 3 YouTube channels I want to talk about before we go. Definitely check out, this is not my channel, Moto Madness. Moto Madness. If you want to see a lot of motorcycle crashes captured on, GoPro, hopefully you won't be seeing that today. But go to Moto Madness, go to Shock of God, and go to Critic of Games, Games. Why do we ride motorcycles? Well, if you're like me, you prefer dangerous freedom to secure slavery. And so this is what's so awesome about motorcycle riding, the open air environment and whatnot. This is a brake reservoir fluid container here. This is the reservoir, but these guys, you get these socks on them, and that tends to help protect the liquid from heating up in the heat. This is just a handlebar here, doesn't really do anything, and this is the clutch lever. So, and then these are the turn signals, left signal here, right signal here, push in, see how it says off, push in to stop, and here's the brights. The lights are always on, but if I want them brighter, I go like this. So kickstands up, you're in the parking lot, you're new. We're not going to spend a lot of time here, but definitely put this on full screen. We're going to move this just a little like this so you can see the gauges. This is a RAM mount, cell phone mount. It's great. I highly recommend RAM mount. They're like the best quality mounts out there that work with this solar battery pack too. It's great. So what you're going to do is pull the clutch in. You're going to kick down on the left on 2, 1, 2. Watch that neutral light. We're now in gear, but I haven't engaged the gear, like the gear's connected, but notice I'm pushing with my right foot and I'm going backwards even, because why? We have the clutch lever in. Watch what happens when I let the clutch lever out. See how it starts to go? That's called the friction zone. So you want to do that a bunch of times and find that friction zone. One other piece of gear I want to show you. Look at my eyes here. You see this don't know if you can see it, this dark area here. Well, notice I have a clear visor, but inside, you can see that, I have a dark visor. And then this dark visor goes up and down like that. So it's great when it gets nighttime. All you got to do is flip a switch. And I'm opening up the vents here because it's getting very hot. They have vents on top and a chin vent. We're going to open that. Okay. Here we go. Clutch in, kick down, start to slowly release the clutch lever. The minute you feel it catching, give it a little throttle. Watch, here goes. Give it throttle while slowly letting the clutch out. We're going to open up the visor because it's over 100 degrees today and 100 Fahrenheit. So we're in first. We're going to go right. Never ever put the brake on your front brake right here on the right while you're going around a corner, or you'll stop and you'll crash. That's number one reason why new riders crash. So you're going to do this for a while. Now let's show you braking. You always want to brake. Wow, I slipped a little on those leaves. Those leaves are very slippery. Glad I wasn't going fast. You always want to brake. By the way, if I would have put the front brake on right there, we would have went down. You see why you never want to put the front brake on, because the leaves are real slippery. It kind of slipped even with me, you know, not even doing the brake. So when you're going to stop, always keep the handlebar straight. So watch this. Clutch lever in, front brake only, squeezing the front brake only. You want to get in the habit of your left foot going down, but when you're new, just put both feet down. We're still in gear. You want to take off again, slowly let the clutch out while giving it throttle. First gear, if you master that, the rest is easy, okay? Stopping's challenging when you're going at a fast speed, so we're going to talk about that. But if you master going into first gear and getting the bike going, the rest is easy. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth is easy. We're going to do one more stop. We'll do some more stops, but in this parking lot, and then we're going to go out on the street and we'll teach you that. Clutch in, slowly squeezing the front brake, left foot goes down. You kind of want to, you know, get in the habit of your left foot going down. Okay, let's find how we get out of this place. Here we go. Now watch, we're going to go up to second. Let me just pick up speed. This bike, you can go like 60 in seconds, so it's, you kind of have to pick up some speed. So here we go. First gear. Watch what we're going to do with second. You know what? I'm not going to do it because I'd have to pick up too much speed in this parking lot. We'll do it on the street. So you ready? We're going to take you in the street for a while and then the freeways. So watch this. You have the stop sign. You're in first. Clutch lever in. You're going to come to a complete stop. You still have the in gear, you see, but the clutch lever enables you to stay in gear without having to, you know, pop it out of gear to stop. Here we go. Give it a little bit of throttle. Let the clutch out at the same time. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go right here and we're going to get on the freeway. Watch this. Clutch lever in. Keep the handlebar straight. I can't stress that enough. When you come to a stop, if your handlebars are like this, the weight, these bikes are heavy, hundreds and hundreds of pounds, and this is a light bike. But even the light bikes are a challenge to get up when they tip over, so keep the handlebar straight. Now we're going to go into second. Release the throttle every time before shifts. Clutch lever in, kick up to second, release the clutch lever, roll back onto throttle. Now you do it a lot faster than that, but I'm showing you slowly so you can see it. Now, we're going to go right here. Wait, we're going right here? Is this it? Yeah. So I'm just hitting the rear brake a little as I went around that corner. Just a little. And clutch in, kick down. Notice I didn't really have to put the clutch in to kick down to neutral, but notice from second I kick down. Remember, it's first, neutral, second. I in sixth gear and we're all the way at the top of the ladder. I don't need to be in sixth gear, but notice it's like 74, 75 at 5,000 RPMs. The temp is down to 190, 187. So now, notice freeways, stay away from people. Just stay away from them. Don't ride next to them, because if something goes out in the road or someone gets a flat, you know, they're going to crash into you. Just keep your distance as much as possible from them. Let's talk about cornering. Never brake going around the corner if you can help it, and certainly never put your front brake on. But notice I'm downshifting here, so as you come up to the corner, notice I'm on the left side. Then what I do, I'm doing this slower so I can show you. I go like this and I pull into the inside to straighten it. Don't ride, if the corner is going to the right, don't stay on the right side and try to do it. You're just going to be thrown to the left. Now notice this right here. What I'm doing, I'm downshifting. I'm using the rear brake, because why? That's right, because we're going around a corner. So I'm going to show you something in the next clip, which is one of the #1 reasons why people crash, and it's called counter steering. Let's make sure the camera is still going. It is. Awesome. Counter steering. Let's get this adjusted here. Counter steering confuses new riders because, and let's kind of put this like this here, because it's counterintuitive. If I want to go to the right, I'm going to pull back towards me on the left, and that's going to lean the bike to the right. If I want to go to the left around a corner, I'm going to pull back on the right handlebar, and that's going to lean me to the left. So people get confused about that. So the way you can learn about this, watch, we're in gear. Slowly let the clutch out while giving it throttle. As you get better at it, you'll be going through it real fast. So for example, watch, second. I'm already in second. That's how fast you do it. I'm just kind of slowing it down to show you. Watch, I'm going to go into third on 1. Just like literally 1 second, you're in the gear. So notice we're in third gear. We're coasting. What do? You see a red light, and notice it turns green, so I'll stay in third. It's around 2,500 RPMs, kind of low on the RPMs. I could have also downshifted. But here's what we're going to do. I'm going to pull over here because I want to show you something, and people are really all stacked up. I want to get some good speeds for you guys so you can catch this on video. So we're going to let those cars go for a second while I show you this. What you're going to do when you're going around a corner to the left, right, you're going to pull back on the right, and they're getting some distance, so here we go. You're going to pull back on the right, and that's going to lean the motorcycle to the left. We're going to let just this one more set of cars go here. Well, actually, let's go. So let me show you how it works. Make sure if you're going to do this, there's no police officer behind you, because they're going to think you're drunk. What will happen if I pull back towards me on the right? We're going to move to the left. Watch this. So that would be good if you're going around left corner on 3. 1, 2, 3. See how we do that? One-handed. And this is awesome. We got a red light. So watch this. I'm in third gear. Believe. Second. Going to downshift. Second gear. Now watch, slight tap down. We're in neutral while I'm braking. Now I'm going into first because I can see the light is going to change, and now we're going to show you counter steering, and it's awesome. We don't have anyone in front of us for a while, so I'll be able to hit on it. Look at the speeds, 50. So these are very high speed compared to little 20-mile-per-hour corners, and so we're going to show you those, how to take them, and I got to talk quick because it's coming up. I want to go to the right. On 2, I'm going to pull back on the left. 1, 2. See how it goes to the right. So we're going to do that right now through these corners, but you can practice counter steering going straight. Pull back on the right, pull back on the left. You see how you do that? Okay, we're going to give it some really good throttle here. Get ready. Ready. Speeding it up. Here we go. Temps at 203. It's very hot out. 201. Now, here's the corner. Going to the left, what are you going to do? Maybe stay over here in the middle, and I'm going to pull back on the right on 3. You ready? Watch this. Watch how it leans it. 1, 2, 3. all the way around the corner. You don't pull it back in a jerky motion like that. You just hold it back with pressure. Now we have some coming up here. Watch the sign on the right. It'll show like a snake, twisty roads. See that sign right here? So we got one going real sharp to the right. What are you going to do? You're going to pull back on the left. Watch this. On 3, we're going to pull back on the left. 1, 2, 3. There we go. That's it. And see how it really dramatically pulls it over. Here's one to the left. Pull back on the right on 2. 1, 2. Pull back on the left on 2. 1, 2. I don't know why this one's a little stronger. Pull back on 1. 1. Temp's now down at a wonderful 181 Fahrenheit. You see how we do that? You've got to learn that. You could lean it at slower speeds, but when you hit those higher speeds, you will not be able to lean the bike. And when you go to Shock of God YouTube channel or Critic of Games or Moto Madness, you'll see videos of people going around the corner and they're trying to lean it, but their buddy, who is much more seasoned than them, knows how to counter steer, is just flying through it, and they're trying to keep up with their buddy, and they're scared to try counter steering, which there's no reason to be scared. But I've met people that are scared. Well, I don't want to do it. I don't want to pull back on the handlebar. I'm like, look, pull back on the left just slightly. You can control it. Just pull back just a little. Look at that. On the right, I move to the left. Watch, just a little on 2. 1, 2. Look at that. That's how it is. It's very, very simple. Now, we're going about 57 miles per hour, and we're coming up to a stop sign. Don't do it the amateur way, where you stay in the gear and you get up to the stop sign, then you try to, just by holding the clutch in, and then you try to find neutral, because you're going to mess up, you're going to stall the bike, and people behind you want to move. So what you're going to do is this, look, downshifting, no throttle. I keep downshifting, letting the clutch out, downshifting. Now I'm not using the front brake, notice just a little rear brake, downshifting. The motor will help to stop it. Now notice, now I'm in neutral. What I should have done is just stay in second, but I'm trying to show you the progression of it. Okay, let's let those people go. We have some very good counter steering coming up here on the left. I'm just waiting a little while. And here we go. Okay, you're in first. You got the drill, right? What do you do if you want to go into second? Release the throttle, clutch in, kick up to second, release clutch, roll back on. Now, if you ever are looking to buy a motorcycle and you live in an area like this, a Ninja 250, a Ninja 300, the Ninja 400 is great for this. But if you're going to be doing freeways, you are going to want something like a 600, something with some meat on its bones. If the freeways, like out here in California, they'll go 85 average speed on the freeway. It says 65. They're all going 85. And if you're going 65 on the freeway, there's a name for people like that. It's called dead. So you don't want to get a low-powered bike if you're going to be going the freeways all the time. How do you choose a bike? Don't listen to what any of your well-meaning friends say. Seriously, listen to what I'm going to tell you. You choose the bike, listen, based on where you're going to be riding it the most. If you're going to be riding it the most on little roads like this with the sharp twisties, and we're going to be coming up to some here, then just get some little bike that's very flickable. You don't need that much power. Like this bike, I'm not even using 90% of its, man, some guy was overheating. I'm not even using 90% of its potential, maybe not even 10% of it. But this bike is a street legal racing bike, so it's also good in the twisties, which are coming up in about 20 seconds. If you're going to be going on the freeways long distance, what type of bike would you like? If you're a seasoned rider, you know, an R1 is great, a 600, an R6 is great, something with some meat on its bones, some power. Okay, here we go. You ready? We're going to pull back on the left here. See it? Here's the corner. On 2, we're going to pull back on the left. 1, 2. Here's a sharp one here. This one you definitely crash. We're going to pull back on the right on 2. 1, 2. That one, if you hit that one at a certain speed, you're definitely going to crash. And there's one more over here I'll show you that's pretty tricky. Now, I'm familiar with this road, but a lot of guys will crash because they don't know counter steering, plus they're not familiar with the road. And now you're just coupling danger upon danger, and you're going to go down. So here we go. Let's see if this is the one. And I'm telling you that because I almost lost it over here one time. If I didn't know counter steering, I would have lost it because I had to really pull back on the handlebar. I'll show you the place where I almost lost it. I think it's over here. Let's see. Yeah, it's after the stop sign here. So we're coming to a stop. Clutch lever in, kick down. Now I'm applying both front and rear brakes. Clutch lever in, kick down. That's why it comes to a stop really fast. Clutch lever in, kick down. Now watch, we're not going to put our foot down. I'm now in first, still balancing, and now we're going. Here's the counter. See how it says please slow down? Everyone crashes here. But darn it, I wanted to show you. Let me just see if I can do it. I'm going to keep it slow, but it's this corner right here. Not this one, but the one right after it, watch. So, goes back here. Let's see, is this it? Yeah, this is it. This one here. Pulling back on the right a lot. See, I'm like even, whoa. Don't want that guy to go in my lane. That one, if you hit that one at a high speed, that one's definitely 100% counter steering. You're even counter steering and leaning on that one. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to stop the camera real quick. Look at this dude. I'm going to stop the camera real quick, and we're going to come back on a more advanced, let's pick up the throttle here, a more advanced pace on a different set of twisties, okay? So here we go. Where's the little stop button here? And when I see you again, I'm going to splice both of those videos together. We'll be going on the more advanced. All right, folks, so we're now at the canyon here where I only have about 4 cars in the pole position in front of me. Hopefully I could pass them. And you're going to have counter steering here, but it's at a much higher speed than the slower speeds. I mean, 50 is not slow, but I mean, they're at much higher speeds than the other road that we were on. So here we go. They're already getting on it, so this is good. So see, it says 45, but a lot of guys lose it here. I don't know why. Let me see why. So you do have to do some counter steering there. All right, we're passing that guy. There's this one dude in front of me. Yeah, they check with radar here. So a lot of guys on bikes will come through here. This is one of their favorite roads because it's not real slow where you have to like go real slow going around these corners. They're fast sweeping corners where you really could lean and test your counter steering skills. Now this guy in front of me is doing really good. So it's 45, but he's got to be going about 60 or so. So here we have one here. So watch this. We're going to pull back on the right on 3. 1, 2, 3. So some bikes, like I've ridden the Ninja 250, the Ninja 300, the 400s are awesome. But I want to tell you something about the design of these different bikes. That Ninja 400, the handlebars, now my handlebars, I mean, if you look, all right, buddy, you got out of my way. This is awesome. If you look, I'm really leaned forward, but I don't have a lot of weight on my hands, but I like that. I like to be leaned forward. Why? First of all, it's better for your back that your back has flex to it. You know, you ever notice in the Olympics when they're racing the 10 speeds, the riders are leaned forward so much? It's much better for their back because you have this flex in your back like that. But when you're like this and you're hitting all these bumps and your vertebrae are hitting each, like just constantly hitting, you know, it kills you. And then plus, I mean, it kills your back. And then plus, you don't want to be like this on the freeway going this way. You want to be hunched down, sleek, aerodynamic, and it's not uncomfortable. I can go like this and sit up straight. I'm just, wow, look at all those donkey. Maybe that's why a lot of people are crashing. There's wild donkeys around here. You see that? But I could go like this and sit up straight if I want to stretch or whatever. But I prefer the racing position. It's much more comfortable. Now we're going to pull back on the left. Here's one here. You're going to pull back on the right. I wish this guy was in front of me. Watch on 2, 1, 2. Whenever you see those yellow things, hey, wait a minute. Can I pass the dude? No. Whenever you see those big yellow signs, it's really like, you better turn here. That means it's one of those sweeping, sharp corners. So, if you get a Ninja 250, 300 or whatever, I'm just telling you, you're going to be fighting the wind more. There's a bike, in my opinion, I think it's one of the best first bikes ever, and no one really talks about it a lot. You know, a used bike, a Suzuki Katana 600. That bike, I sold that bike and the guy loved it, and I loved it too. It was a Monster Energy themed bike. I'm going to put that other videos right below this video. Please take the time to look at them. You'll see my review on the Suzuki Katana, and it's got a lot of good ratings to it because I talk about the benefits of the Suzuki Katana. The Katana is an awesome freeway bike. That bike has no sharp edges. Have you ever seen it? It's like riding a teardrop. Literally. It's so smooth. Like, this has a lot of sharp edges, you know, to the design. But Suzuki Katana 600 is a great bike. It's heavy. So if you're like a, you know, short but, you know, buff or stocky, you'll do okay on it. It's not a real tall bike. Look at this donkey right here. Is he lost? So Suzuki, look at, here's all the donkeys. I better pay attention they don't run out the road. There's that cute little donkey over there, the little baby one. So we have a sweeping corner coming up. You know those ones that just go and go and go and go like a complete C? We have one of those coming up here, and I'm going to take that at a higher speed. I want to show that to you. It's just a few more moments. But the Katana is a sleeper of a bike. It's, what I mean by that is, it's a great bike. I never had any problems with it. They're not fuel injected. So let's say you live somewhere where it's cold. There's a little choke lever, like this is fuel injected. So this starts right up. At the most, I'll press it once and then press it again. You know, in the cold areas, it's got, you know, fuel injection. But the Katana is carbureted and it's air cooled. Very similar to, what's a car that you know that lasts forever? I mean, very reliable. Volkswagen, right? The Beetle. Look at all these donkeys. What the heck? Better pay attention. So the Volkswagen Beetle is great because it really didn't have any coolant. It was air cooled and the oil would cool it. Same thing with the Katana. That's an excellent first time bike, very reasonable. You can get an immaculate one for $3,000 used or less. They even have, if you want some good power, they have a 750 Katana. Now watch, we're gonna just lean a little here, see, because we're going at a slow speed. Now notice the tack's going downward because we're slowing, so I'm going to downshift. Not good for your motor that you bog it down like that. I like to be at least at 3,000 or higher. So here comes the sweeping corner that I was talking to you about after we go through this little valley. But the Katana, awesome bike, very comfortable. If you live in a very windy area, that's a great bike. See the winds here? Because it's a heavier bike. If you get, I had the first bike I started off with, Ninja 250. Hold on, we're going to talk to you about that. Watch what we do here. I'm going to take it the outside, inside, and this is, I'm going to pull over here because I want to pick up some good speed here because this is that sweeping corner that I was telling you about. Let's look in the mirror. We still have more cars coming, so we'll let them go, but this is a fun corner. Look at this guy with his goats and horses, and okay, so get ready. All right, you ready? But before I do, the Katana 250 was great, but I was munching through the tires on the freeway. Okay, watch this. So here, what you're going to do with counter steering, you're going to hold pressure there going around this corner. The corner is going to be going to the right, continuing. See it right here? See that sign that says 35? So watch this. If I can show you some stuff. Upshifting. Now it does become problematic sometimes when people go in front of you. Now I'm not looking at the road, you want to look ahead of you. With your peripheral vision, giving it more throttle, you can see the other parts of the road. So I'm not basically looking right here at the road, I'm looking always ahead. And you want to look for the apex of the corner. Let me show you. So what we're going to do here, I'm looking at the end of this corner way up at the top. I'm looking to see where it's going, see, so I can predict how to react. And then you know that you can quit pulling on the handlebar because you see the end of it. So when you're going around those corners, you look at it differently. Don't look right ahead of you. Look at the very end where it's going, because sometimes it'll go like that and you can predict it. So what did we learn? You learned how to brake, you learned how to throttle, you learned freeway riding, keep away from people. You learn about counter steering, pull back on the left, you're going to go to the right, pull back on the right, you're going to go to the left. It's simple. We learned about how you could have that battery jump starter on your motorcycle in case you break down. It's great. I've seen other riders broken down. Matter of fact, look below this video. I'm going to put that video there where I don't even know the guy. I think he was on an R6 and he was broken down out in the middle of nowhere, and I was able to help him jump his bike with that jump starter. Only took about 3 minutes. And of course, what I always say, always make sure you ride with the whole armor. God bless you guys. Have a great week.